Now, when this show was coming up, I thought for a long time what my talent could be. I know we've got a lot of very talented people here, but I thought, what better use of this time than to show you guys exactly why I am in pharmacy school and I'm not a comedian. So you're in for a real treat, trust me. And also, I know we have a lot of different healthcare providers here, a lot of different backgrounds, so I thought I'd take this time to shed a little light on what it's like to be a pharmacist, give you a little bit of insight on what it's like on a day-to-day basis. So, better way than to start with a good story, right? So I got a good story for you guys, a crazy story, actually probably the craziest thing that's ever happened to me in a pharmacy. One day I was working, and right out in front of our pharmacy I could see through, we had a funeral procession start going by. It's kind of sad, of course, but I kind of stopped and watched it for a moment. And as it went by, it turned and went up the street in front of our pharmacy, and there was a huge hill right out in front of our pharmacy. So as I'm watching, it starts going up. We have the police officers in the front, we have the hearse going up behind it, big long train of cars behind it as well. About halfway up, as I'm watching, to the horror of everybody, the back door on the hearse opens up. The casket falls right out on the ground. So I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this is terrible. Oh, those poor people. But that's not the worst part, though. The casket doesn't just fall out and sit there. It starts rolling down the hill. It starts rolling down the hill. It's picking up speed. All the cars behind it, it's just crashing through all the cars. You got people jumping out of the way and everything. Nothing's stopping this casket. It comes all the way down to the pharmacy, crashes through the front of our pharmacy, and we got drug aisles everywhere, and it's just barreling through everything. Nothing's stopping this guy. Comes right up to the pharmacy counter, slams to the counter, the lid pops open, and the deceased jumps out, looks me right in the eye, and says, "Hey, buddy, you got anything to stop this coughing?" It's going to take more little Robitussin for you, buddy, sorry. Alright, so okay, maybe that doesn't happen every day to a pharmacy. I mean, that's a little unusual, but got another good story for you guys. Don't worry, I got plenty of stories for you. A few days ago, my favorite patient ever, she came into the pharmacy. Her name's Miss B. She's the nicest, sweetest, cutest little lady you've just ever met in your life. I see Miss B come in, and I see her on the floor, so I'm like, I'll go out and say hi, see if she needs any help. So I say, "Hey, Miss B, how are you? What can I do for you? What can I help you with?" She's looking at some medicine, and she says to me, well, John, I got this real bad pain in my hands, my wrist here, and I wanted to take something for it, and I see this here ibuprofen. I was just wondering if that's something I could take, and if I can help you at all. And so, being the good pharmacy student that I am, I know that Miss B has had some stomach ulcers in the past. As a lot of you healthcare providers know, that's a very bad mixture, NSAIDs and ulcers. So I look at Miss B. I turn right at her, and I say, "Miss B, you got this ibuprofen here. Miss B, I be not recommending that drug for you." I know you all need a little ibuprofen after that painful joke. So she turns back to the aisle, she looks over, and she grabs a bottle of Aleve, and she's like, "Well, what about this? What do you think about this drug? Did this help me at all?" I turn back and say, "Miss B, sorry to say, but nah, Proxen for you either."
Oh my gosh.
All right, so unfortunately, I was not able to make a good recommendation for Miss B. As I told her, I was like, there's some medication I know you can take for it. I can't think of what it is. It's at the tip of my tongue right now. The only issue was I just couldn't think of a good, clever pun on the word acetaminophen. So if you guys want to think of a good, clever way to say it, you let Miss B know. She'd appreciate the help. All right, lastly, just want to take a moment to say, talk a little bit about how great it is to have all different kinds of healthcare providers collaborating together. I know we all have our own special area of expertise, our own special area of knowledge. So I know that whenever there's a gap in my knowledge, I can always count on either like a nurse, a doctor, even a dentist as well, to help me out solving some of these problems. Perfect example of us helping each other out, as a matter of fact, backstage, just before I came out, I had a med student. She ran up to me, she was real frantic and worried. She's like, "Man, go on next." And I wrote all these notes out here on the sheet of paper, but I just can't read them. I was like, look at this, it's tough. And sure enough, I took a look at it, and It was some chicken scratch. It was a lot of scribble on this sheet of paper. So I looked up at her and I was like, well, this is pretty bad, but I think I can make this out. I'll go and flip this over around the back for her and you'll be all set. She turns to me and says, oh, thank you so much. Your lifesaver. What can I do? Thank you. Can't thank you enough. So she says, well, wait a minute. How can you read that? Like, that is just like, nobody can read that. I wrote that out myself and I can't even read it. So I look at her and I said, well, you're a med student, right? Like, you're going to be a physician, aren't you? She says, yes. I said, don't worry. I'm going to be a pharmacist. They trained me to read doctors' handwriting. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. It's okay. It's okay. I'm going to be a pharmacist. I can make a great recommendation on an ointment for that burn. I just lost a quarter of my votes. Worth it, though. Worth it. All right. One last joke for you guys. Quick one-liner. Why do pharmacists always have nice, clean, wrinkle-free shirts? Wait for it. Wait for it. They know how to prevent an iron deficiency. Thank you all so much for coming out tonight. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Thank you.
Johnny Eric!
Woo! Feeling the crowd, loving it.